Okay, Danie, we look back at a very successful and illustrious career of your tennis in the last, say, 40 years. Just now, when you talked, what will you, in your opinion, is the big difference between your playing days and the current playing days in terms of the players and equipment and everything like that?
Yeah, look, if you look at the early 80s when I started to today, which is, what is that, 20, 40 years, whatever it is, 40 years, there's a big difference maybe from that day to this day. But it was a gradual change. The rackets was already graphite and oversized, mid-size when I started pro in 81, 82. So that the rackets didn't change that much, but the players for some reason are just so more physical today. They're tall. I was probably middle of the road at, in length when I'm in the locker room, whereas today I'd be small. I mean, the guys are 6'2". He's probably almost small. I mean, they go 6'4", 5, 6. I mean, Isner's 6'9" or whatever. So the guys are big, and I think that's a bigger change, the biggest change probably. And then also the strings. They changed the strings, and the strings now creates more spin. Supposedly, I don't like the new strings. I don't play with them, but I think the strings makes a big difference, and the physical fitness and strength of the guys. They all come with a team. They have a physio. They have a dietitian in lots of cases. They've got a coach. They've got all kinds of people on their team to take care of their physical needs and dietary needs and recovering. Recovering is probably one of the most important things in the sport. When you're playing the US Open this week and you have a 5 sets, 5 hours in the heat, and you can't recover for the next match, that's it, you're done. And that cost me many times in my career after 5-set matches that I couldn't recover enough in time for the next round. So, all that kind of, I guess, adds together for making a big difference in where the game is at today. Also, the guys, we played singles and doubles. Mostly everybody did, and mixed doubles in the Grand Slams. Whereas today, the singles guys only play singles, so they have more time to recover, and they use that time for that. So yeah, the game has changed in those departments. But at the end of the day, I played with Borg, Connors, McEnroe. Then came Sampras, Agassi, and then they again played with Federer. So where is that? The change is not that big. If you really think about it that way, because not just played with them, beat them. Then Federer and Nadal, of course, now playing with Alcaraz, and who's going to be the next sensation along with him. So it all overflows at the end of the day.
Okay, you were probably South Africa's last Grand Slam champion with Pete Aldrich. In 92 you were playing with Aussie. So after you, Anderson made a final but never won anything. So you're working with young players now these days. What will you say will it take to get that era back in your days when you got 10 players in the top 100 singles? What's the difference between now and then?
The main difference, in my opinion, is opportunity to develop. The sport to compare with here in South Africa is undoubtedly golf. The golf has a whole sunshine tour that you can play on here in South Africa, of which something like 5 events qualifies you for a European card. The money is good, so they have a system where you can develop. Whereas in tennis, you have to go overseas. You've got to go to college, and then you got to go overseas to play, and it's expensive. And so, if that doesn't change, I can't see us. I mean, I can see 1 or 2, a handful of players develop and break through, but you're not going to get to where there's 20 South African players in the draw to US Open, unless we have a different system here locally where guys can develop here, or unless maybe the rand gets back to the level where it's as strong as the dollar and it's not that expensive to travel overseas. The talent's here, we know that. We do have the talent, but to actually get that talent to get to that level, I don't know. It's difficult.
Okay, well then on a very nice career, and thanks for the talk, and all the best for the future.
Yeah, thank you.